until we've made certain Sauron is no more.
As you will it, Lord Father.
Sauron devoted himself to healing.
Imagine a power so dark, so malevolent, that even the mightiest realms and greatest heroes of Middle-earth were shaken by it. A force that began with a dream of creation, yet became a nightmare of destruction. This is the tale of Morgoth, the fallen Valar, who cast his shadow across time, bending everything to his twisted vision. Morgoth's legacy is not just a tale of his rise and fall, it's the origin of nearly every darkness that plagued Middle-earth, from the armies of orcs to the fires of dragons, and even the corruption of Sauron himself. If you're intrigued by the dark powers and ancient battles that shaped Tolkien's world, make sure to give this video a like and dive deep with us into the story of the first Dark Lord, the rise of Melkor. Long before Middle-earth or even Arda existed, there was Melkor, the mightiest of the Ainur, holy beings crafted by Eru Ilúvatar himself. Among the Ainur, none matched Melkor's gifts. He was exceptionally powerful and uniquely imaginative, driven by an insatiable creative spark. But what was a blessing soon became his curse. While others found joy in working within Eru's grand vision, Melkor's ambition pushed him to seek power for himself. He yearned for his own dominion, for a creation that bore only his mark. This envy and dissatisfaction festered, twisting his once brilliant mind and leading him down a dark path. In a desire to assert his independence, Melkor began introducing discord into the harmonious music of the Ainur, the divine song shaping reality. This dissonance foreshadowed the corruption and chaos he would later bring to Arda. As he rebelled against the others, Melkor transformed from a figure of light into Morgoth, the great enemy. His purpose now centered on spreading darkness, on corrupting every creation, and on ruling with fear. Even in these early days, his shadow took root, tainting the hearts of others who would one day serve under his command, sharing in his fall from grace. The first Dark Lord and his quest for dominion. Reborn as Morgoth, the fallen Valar returned to Arda with an unrelenting drive to conquer and corrupt all life. Establishing his stronghold, Angband, in the desolate northern wastes, Morgoth spread his influence like a consuming plague. Middle-earth fell into a state of terror as he transformed his followers into instruments of his malevolent will. Yet, Morgoth's ambition went beyond mere territories and riches. He craved dominion over souls. To him, true power lay in bending others to reflect his own hatred and despair. It was here that he ensnared Sauron, a once wise Maya, twisting his mind until Sauron became Morgoth's devoted lieutenant. Under Morgoth's dark tutelage, Sauron learned the arts of deception and subjugation, methods he would later use in his own rise. Morgoth's power reached deep into the hearts of his creations, transforming noble elves into corrupted orcs. Breeding trolls as mindless giants of war, and summoning dragons that ravaged the land. Morgoth's quest was not just to dominate, but to reshape Middle-earth into a reflection of his twisted vision, leaving a scar that would linger for ages. Morgoth's corruption and his army of darkness. Morgoth's legacy came to life in the monstrous beings he created, each a reflection of his hatred and desire to defile. Orcs, twisted parodies of the noble elves, became his most numerous soldiers, loyal only through fear and violence. Each one was a symbol of Morgoth's scorn for the beauty he loathed. Trolls, huge and brutal, were crafted as living battering rams, their sheer strength making them devastating weapons in battle despite their simple minds. Yet it was dragons, his crowning creations, that struck terror into even the bravest hearts. Glorung, the father of dragons, combined overwhelming strength with a cruel intellect, making dragons cunning and nearly invincible engines of destruction. With fire, flight, and an endless thirst for ruin, they left entire lands scorched. As Morgoth's army of darkness swept across Middle-earth, his dark influence deepened, shrouding the world in despair and solidifying his rule through unending terror. His triumphs only fueled his lust for control, casting a shadow that would haunt Middle-earth for ages. The unrelenting war against Middle-earth. Throughout the First Age, Morgoth's insatiable thirst for dominion cast Middle-earth into an age of endless war and despair. His hunger for power knew no bounds, driving him to unleash devastating assaults upon the Valar's strongholds and the realms of men and elves. His dark hand orchestrated nearly every calamity, from the brutal siege of Gondolin, where hope nearly crumbled, to the apocalyptic destruction of Beleriand, left as a barren wasteland in his wake. Morgoth's terror transformed the lands, leaving scars on Middle-earth that would never fully heal. Yet, in this deep darkness, brave heroes arose. Figures like Hurin, who faced torment yet never yielded to Morgoth's will, and Fingolfin, the High King of the Noldor, who faced Morgoth himself and struck him with wounds that would scar him forever, became symbols of resistance and hope. Their courage proved that, even against the greatest darkness, the light of defiance could never be fully extinguished. What do you think of Morgoth's transformation? Comment below with your thoughts on how power and envy drove him to his dark destiny. Morgoth's banishment to the void. In the final days of the First Age, Morgoth's dark empire reached its zenith, plunging Middle-earth into terror and despair. The Valar, the guardians of Arda, could no longer stand by while Morgoth threatened to consume the world in darkness. They summoned the host of the West, a mighty force of valor and elves, igniting the War of Wrath, a battle so cataclysmic it shattered entire regions and reshaped the landscape of Middle-earth. This epic conflict marked the end of Morgoth's physical hold on the world. After a brutal and costly struggle, Morgoth was overthrown, yet the Valar could not destroy him entirely. He was bound with the mighty chain Angainor and cast into the void, an eternal exile beyond the circles of the world where he would never return. However, Morgoth's malevolent influence lingered, woven into the essence of Middle-earth. His shadow did not simply fade, it lay dormant, a dark legacy that would later empower Sauron to rise, carrying Morgoth's corrupting spirit into the ages to come. Legacy and influence on Sauron. Even after his defeat, Morgoth's legacy loomed over Middle-earth like a dark shadow, carried forward by Sauron, his most loyal servant. Although Sauron employed subtler tactics than Morgoth, relying on manipulation and deceit rather than brute force, every dark scheme he crafted echoed the influence of his former master. Sauron's ambition to dominate, his creation of the Rings of Power, and his relentless pursuit of control all stemmed from Morgoth's teachings. Morgoth had imparted in Sauron an insatiable thirst for absolute dominion over others. Through Sauron, Morgoth's corruption seeped into the hearts of kings and ordinary men alike, spreading division and fear across Middle-earth. Though Morgoth was banished to the void, his spirit of malice persisted, like a poison that never truly faded. The One Ring, promising ultimate power, was itself a lingering embodiment of Morgoth's will, continuing to reach into Middle-earth to twist and control, ensuring that Morgoth's desire for dominion would haunt the world for ages to come. The endless darkness. Morgoth was more than just a villain. He was a force of pure corruption, the source of almost every evil in Tolkien's universe. He was a creator turned destroyer, a dark god who lost himself to envy and hatred. In his banishment, he left a legacy of fear and a foundation for future darkness that would haunt Middle-earth for ages. Morgoth's story reminds us of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the relentless nature of darkness. If this dive into Middle-earth's original Dark Lord intrigued you, make sure to like the video, and for more epic lore on Tolkien's world, hit subscribe so you don't miss out.